There are certain words and phrases that narcissists will use, and not just narcissists, but people in general, but narcissists in particular, will use these words and phrases to manipulate you. I came up with 6 of these phrases, and I'm guessing there may be, I don't know, 6 million of them, but just to give you an idea how the narcissist works or how his or her mind works, let's talk about these 6. Number 1 is this: the narcissist will use the phrase, "you said." But you said, or but you were saying, but you believe, or some other iteration of that. You said. Now, here's how this works. Let's imagine that you're married. Now, you may not have to imagine. Maybe you actually are married. And let's imagine that you are married to a narcissist. I feel sorry for you if you are. And let's imagine that you are married to a narcissist, and you're trying to raise children with a narcissist. And as you know, the narcissist is always right. He or she knows how to raise the children, and you do not. All right, so how does a narcissist entrap a spouse in that set of circumstances? Well, he or she may, well, let's say that it's a woman. And the mom, the wife, in the course of a conversation will get the husband, dad, to say something to the effect that, moms are more nurturing than men. And by the way, I think that's true. Complementarianism. And men tend to be a little bit better with, I hate to use the term authoritarian, but that's the best term I can come up with. They don't seem to be quite as empathetic. So you take those 2 parenting styles and you put them together, and typically you come up with pretty good parents. But if the wife is a narcissist, she will get her husband to say something to the effect that women are better when it comes to nurturing. And then there's a disagreement about how to raise the children. And what does the wife say? The wife will say, yeah, but you said that women are better at raising children. No, that's not what you said, but it's been a while and you can't remember exactly what you said, but you remember you had the discussion, and you do believe that women have a special gift, a special talent that nature has endowed upon them to be nurturing. And, come on now. But what if the husband is the narcissist? Conversation, same conversation. And the wife admits, sometimes you need a little discipline. You need a little bit of authoritarianism around the household. And she caves in, gives into that, and she admits it. Time passes. Months, maybe even a year or 2. Now comes the argument about how to raise children, and the narcissist dad, father, says, yeah, but you said that the father should be the head of the home. The father is always right. You said that. Do you remember we had this conversation? You actually said that. And your mind's kind of fuzzy because you don't actually remember saying it, at least in not those terms, in whatever it was. I mean, you remember the conversation, but yeah, you kind of gave that impression. I mean, did you say that? You see what's going on here? The narcissist will use things that we said and will use them against us. And sometimes it's very trivial. I'm going to mention this one just in passing. But I was stupid enough to allow a narcissist into my life. And by the way, I've been stupid a lot of times. And the guy was stealing from me. I mean, literally stealing money to the point where I had to hire an attorney, confront this guy with he and his attorney. Got on the telephone and said, look, this guy is stealing. I mean, it's evident. He flat out stealing. He couldn't deny it. So here's what the narcissist said, or the guy who I believe is a narcissist. He said that I said, whatever. I got to admit, because I'm a person with Asperger's syndrome, I've got these phrases like whatever or I don't know. A lot of those little phrases that I use that mean that basically I don't want to talk about it, I don't want to hear about it, or, let me think about this and get back with you later. And it's summarized into a phrase or word like whatever. And then he told my lawyer that I said whatever, so he interpreted that to mean he could take whatever he wanted. They will use your words against you. You said whatever. You know, I say whatever all the time, but I'm not saying you could take whatever you want. Well, that's the way they spin things. Number 2 is this. Get it before it is gone. Okay, that's a sales pitch, right? We're almost out of them. We've got a limited supply, and if you don't take advantage of this offer right now, it's probably never going to be there again. Great sales pitch, but when it's in a personal relationship between you and a friend or spouse, loved one, whatever, and they start playing this on you, you're going to have to get it before it's gone. Because, you know, I'm not going to put up with this forever. Well, they'll phrase it that way, some iteration of the same thing. That you need to get in line, because if you don't, this is the narcissist speaking to you, if you don't get your act in line and do what I tell you to do, when I tell you to do it the way that I tell you to do it, I'm not going to be here forever to put up with you. So many times we as empaths will fall for that. One thing I've learned when dealing with a narcissist is when they use that strategy on me, get it before it's gone, I would say, okay, it's gone. They're frustrated. I was going to say flustered and frustrated, so it came out frustrated, but they're frustrated. They don't know what to do with that. Typically what they'll do is they'll just go on to something else. But that's the second phrase. All right, number 3 is this. Well, if you won't, I know someone else who will. That's kind of a reiteration or an iteration of the phrase that we just used. Get it before it's gone. If you don't do it, somebody else is going to do it. I got one left, and if you don't buy it, there's a guy next door who's going to buy it. You know, they use this selling a car or something. So you try to talk them down and say, yeah, I got somebody else who's willing to pay full price for it. Well, that's cool if you're in sales relationship, but when it's a personal relationship and you're dealing with a narcissist, what you don't want is somebody constantly telling you that they got somebody else. You know, if you're not going to do what they want you to do when they want you to do it, they're going to discard you and they're going to replace you. Number 4 is this. Phrases and words that narcissists love to use. Quote, how dare you? What does that mean? Stop and think about it. What exactly does that mean? I was listening to a British commentator in Britain. They refer to them as, I forget what they call them, so they'll call them commentators. But this guy's clever. I don't particularly like his political views, but he's good at what he does. And he was interviewing somebody, having a little debate thing, and his way of putting this guy in his place, presenter, that's the word I was trying to think of, a presenter. But his way of putting this guy in his place was saying, how dare you? And the guy just kind of froze. What, did I do something wrong? I mean, am I out of line here? What happened? Well, what happened is nothing. The guy didn't have, the presenter didn't have didn't have a good argument, but he knew by asking the question, how dare you, that it would make you feel like you were being obnoxious and rude and inconsiderate, and it works. Narcissists use that a lot. How dare you? So the ultimatum is, you go along with me or I'm going to lay on you this huge guilt trap that has no basis whatsoever. Number 5 is this. A narcissist may use the phrase, something akin to saying that it's a waste of time. Now keep in mind, when you are dealing with narcissists, you are dealing with people who are always right. They have these great ideas. No matter how dumb they are, they're great ideas. Now if it's a workplace, family, it could be a church, could be any other social gathering or setting or affinity group of any kind. The narcissist has ideas that are just absolutely positively perfect, and everyone else's ideas, particularly yours, are seen as challenging because they want to be at the heap. They want to be at the top of the heap. When it comes to social climbing, they want to be at the very, very, very absolute positive top of the pile. No one else should even bother to challenge them. But if you have an idea, the narcissist will shoot that down because it's a bad idea. And it's a bad idea because, the narcissist didn't think of it. One of the ways they shoot things down is they use this phrase. That's just a waste of time. I mean, just think of all you're going to have to put into implementing that idea. Waste of resources. Overextended. It's a waste of time. Now, sometimes things are a waste of time, and maybe the narcissist is correct when he or she calls it out. But their motive for calling it out, not so much. All right, number 6 is, this is actually one that I use a lot because it's effective. Now, I don't think I'm a narcissist, but I do know it works, and I have heard narcissists use this or some iteration of it, and the phrase is this. It's just rule of thumb. Hey, try it sometimes. It works. You're trying to explain how to do something, and somebody is trying to question, why do you do it this way? Well, it's just rule of thumb. This is how it's done. And everybody knows it, and if you don't know it, then obviously you're out of touch. You don't know anything about anything. Well, what is the rule of thumb? I mean, where are these thumbs? Where do they keep these thumbs? Where are the rules? Is there a rule book of thumbs? A book of thumbs or book of rules of thumbs? Nah, just something you just say off the top of your head. That gives the indication that this is something that everybody should know about, that you should know about. And if you don't know about it, then obviously you're just kind of ignorant and you don't want to admit it. So you go along with a narcissist and say, oh yeah, I see, okay, thanks for pointing that out. Oh yeah, rule of thumb, I knew that. Yep. Guess what? It actually works. Narcissists use that all the time. Try it sometime, see if it works. Try not to hurt anybody. But if you like what we're talking about, want to hear some more, we can keep the conversation going. All you got to do, click on one of those 2 rectangles that you see at the right of the screen, and we'll keep the conversation going. If not, thanks for stopping by, and we will see you all next time.